Interesting. That's Harvey.
I know, it's a motorcycle. Oh, that's you too.
We're going to.
Good.
You can't eat it. Right. One thing is some timer or stuff like that, but. There's it out there.
Oh, sure, there's everything, but.
Everything.
Really? One like that at school that you wasn't.
Well, service who you get, you know.
I hate it.
Look at the clock.
There you go.
Almost there. Thank you, Marvin.
What?
We heard you come in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, really? Was that?
Yeah, good.
Good to see you.
All right, I'm doing good, Barry.
Read over here.
She's gonna go to.
Thank you.
You gotta set us scissors.
The.
They read all of them.
No, it's a lot here.
You need this or?
Take.
She make the.
Oh, okay.
Don't get made in mine because.
Give their pictures.
Fun.
Sorry, the camera. Sorry, but it's-
I hope so. She's gonna be out of one act, so she'll be busier than ever. They just started music for the speaker.
I heard. I'm saying good things about it.
Then did you have to be quite so noisy? Sorry. I'll pop it in neutral and turn it off and roll it on my down.
Mr. Hill, I've been to the minutes.
What?
Yes. How are you? We just did it.
Long time no see,
man.
We'll go straight in.
Mr. Bell.
Are you?
How you doing? Oh, yeah, you know what?
Man, like.
That's right.
Yeah, it is popular. Everybody wants my hat. I've had two people want the hat. I sent the link and everybody's got my hat. Now that don't mean nothing. You have beautiful eyes. Mr. Greason, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Good, I'm good.
Good, how are you, Wes?
Lisa, how are you?
Good, yeah.
Great day to be alive.
I've done physical therapy for my knee.
What the heck?
Hey, Martin.
Is Barbie coming in or what? Hey, Barbie.
Hey, Ken. That's what you're supposed to do. Just hey, Ken.
Yeah. That's not,
That's
Ken.
not good.
That's far from Ken.
No, but it's like that. It's like the whole thing.
Signed up.
Barbie's world.
Troy, did you get onion rings today?
No,
You don't need no onion ring.
Shut your mouth.
yes,
It was you guys.
I did, and then I got made fun of by all the little wait staff because I'm eating healthy, and then I get the,
Dude.
You know that's my husband, right?
absolutely.
Oh.
That's why I checked it for poison before I eat it.
I would have been there if you would have been. I sped, thank goodness. Nobody was on patrol over there.
There's a such thing as rest just a statement.
Did you look at the camera?
No. What happened? Hey, dude, you're on. Yeah.
All right, it's 6:00. Thank you for joining the regular meeting of the City for Acres City Council meeting.
6 o'clock.
6:00, yes. Item 1.0. Roll call,
Pro Tem Ramos,
present.
Alderman Grayson,
Present.
Alderman Bell,
Present.
Alderman Hill,
Present.
Alderman Mitchell.
Present.
We have four.
Okay, 2.0 is pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
United States of America.
and to the republic for which it stands,
One nation. Indivisible. Jesus. I will take this flag. I pledge allegiance to thee. Texas, one nation under God, and indivisible.
O, special presentations, 3.1, none. 4.0 is council reports and requests. 4.1 is an opportunity for members of council to share community news. So we're gonna start on the end with Mitchell.
Good this month.
Hill,
I just want to say, thank you to all the, admin staff, Brian, and everybody, Diane. All the hard work you've been putting in, hanging in there with us.
Amen.
And that's.
Teresa.
The only thing I have to offer right now is, we're expecting to have a meeting with, Harris County Flood Control District, but I never count my chickens before they hatch, so if we're supposed to show up this week, but, we'll see. And, we're gonna go over some of the flood issues that we have and see if we can get any help from them. That's all I have.
5.0 is public hearing and public comments. 5.1 is public comments. This is the opportunity for the public to address the council. Time is limited to 5 minutes per speaker. Comments are to be directed to the city council, and dialogue with the audience is not permitted. Council members are prohibited by law from participating in discussion or deliberation of items not specifically identified on this agenda. So we're gonna start on the far back corner. You good?
I'm good. Perfect. I was gonna ask the first thing myself. Nathan Bennett, 3422 Bayou Forest Drive. I just want to take a moment to address the comments made online about the police call the other day. I know that was interpreted poorly. I said what I said without trying to throw anyone under the bus or throw shade at anyone. I know people interpreted it that way and some folks understood it. I've talked with Mr. Harrison to clarify that and apologize for any bad image that put on anyone, sorry, lack of a better term. But and the officers as well did not want to put anybody in a bad light, but just bring awareness to bad communication as well as the issues that our police department is facing right now. So just wanted to clear that up. It was a Shore Acres call. What was said on the phone was correct, and what was posted online was correct as well. But I didn't mean to put anyone in a bad light and just wanted to clear the room on that. I know a lot of folks have some thoughts and feelings on it, and the Facebook brigades got pretty aggressive. So just wanted to put that out there. Thanks.
Thank you, Nate.
No, not right now. You want to start on that end?
I'm good.
My name is Mary Becker. I live at 202 Fairfield. And I would like to say, Nathan, thank you for apologizing for that. But to me now it's still clear as mud about that whole thing. But I'll get with somebody later to give an explanation. But what I am here for tonight is that I want to thank everybody for coming out for the Huron Park cleanup and work day on Saturday. It was a beautiful day. And there are about 25 people who came out and worked to clear brush and break the trails and pull weeds. And it was just actually a nice get together to see everybody. So I just want to tell you, thank you.
I'm gonna go.
I'm Tammy Heinrichsen, 1006 Shore Acres. Good evening. I'm here tonight to address the City Council, the Shore Acres Police Department, and the citizens who I hope are presented this evening. There has been significant discussion and public reaction regarding a recent call made to the police. I want to be very clear. I was the person who made the call. The call was placed to the non-emergency number listed on Shore Acres website, and it was automatically dispatched to LaPorte. This occurred Wednesday night, and there was no time to worry about who or what was going to handle this call. During that call with the dispatcher, who was professional, calm, and helpful, during the latter part of the call, the dispatcher informed me that Shore Acres did not have an officer on duty. That could have been for any number of legitimate reasons. Our officer could have been on another call, out for a meal, ill, otherwise engaged, or in other issues. At that time, no officer in Shore Acres. It didn't affect me. I knew that our officers were stretched thin. It is also entirely possible that Shore Acres leadership of the LaPorte City Management had already coordinated support coverage for certain days or times, that the dispatcher was instructed to handle the situation accordingly. That could have been the case. What matters is that the dispatcher handled the situation exceptionally well. She ensured the call was addressed promptly and professionally, and they worked together with Shore Acres. As a result, 2 LaPorte police units responded quickly, demonstrating excellence, response time, and professionalism, no different than what we always have received from Shore Acres officers. I want to be very clear to the citizens of Shore Acres. There's no justification for attacking this dispatcher or LaPorte Police Department for what she has stated to me. Those comments are misplaced and unfair. The response was appropriate, timely, and effective. The facts are in dispute with a few citizens of Shore Acres, but in reality, the facts are not disputed, as you soon will be aware. The recorded call from the LaPorte PD confirms where the call was routed and how it was handled. What does need to be addressed is public statements that followed. Alderman Wes Bell posted publicly on Facebook his comment, as I quote, "The call last night was to South Shady, which is in LaPorte. Our officer was on duty, but was not dispatched because it didn't occur in Shore Acres. Someone owes the chief and Shore Acres PD a huge apology. Pay attention." That statement was made as a fact, yet it was incorrect. This is not the first time the incorrect dismissive statements by Wes Bell have been made publicly, then removed either by Wes or the admin. While posts may be deleted, screenshots remain. Accountability still matters. Public officials have the responsibility to verify facts before making public accusations, especially when those statements involve public safety, city employees, and residents acting in good faith. On to the citizen, Susie Daly, that does not have her facts put on Facebook to Martin Cox. How about a say yes, as she quotes, say yes person, Nathan Bennett, he directly accusing an officer of not responding to a call. That was never said. When the incident wasn't even in Shore Acres related, I don't know who you're talking about above, but directly accusing an officer of not performing their sworn duty is pretty serious. Could Susie's accusing Nathan Bennett being considered defamation or libel concerns? Accusations of that nature are serious or potential damaging as it's truly spiraled out of control. I will provide documentation to show that those claims were unfounded. What was said by the citizen, Martin Cox, regarding staffing levels, there was only one officer on duty, was accurate. The fact alone should concern every person in this room. Not to be dismissed, It is a sad day with all the others that we have lost and will continue to lose. Martin has a big, huge heart for the police officer of the city, and he has no ill will intent. Let me be absolutely clear. Nothing was said by Nathan Bennett or anyone else intended to attack the police department and officer or to create political narrative. Those accusations were ludicrous, and you have no idea what kind of person Nathan is. The perfect purpose of the information shared was to help the resident understand reality facing this city for the naysayers to twist it around, and rightfully so, as an alderman shared information that was thought right. Everyone thought was right. Shore Acres is losing employees and police regularly. People are leaving because they see what is happening. No raises, no cost of living adjustments, limited no overtime, inadequate benefits, and increasingly public criticism and misinformation on social media. Some employees are ready to leave and cannot get out of here fast enough. That should alarm us all. The reason where police were called out that night was a simple item. A young woman was in distress, needed help. The call began in Shore Acres, on Shore Acres Boulevard, heading towards the Shore Acres Police Department. When I stopped to ask if I could help her, she was scared and visibly shaken. I begged her to let me give her a coat. Someone needed to respond, whether Shore Acres or LaPorte was there. Nathan was on the call at the time this happened. I asked each of you, what would you have done if this was your daughter? As you will know, this discussion should never be divulged into attacks, accusations, or social media theatrics. It should have remained focused on safety, staffing, and very real challenges facing the city. You will soon hear for yourself the facts that should warrant a public apology to Nathan and Shore Acres LaPorte Collins Consolidation Information Group. We do our best to provide research, information, facts, and proof of what is put on social media, and this has been going on for over a year. My final comment is for you, Mayor Pro Tem Felicia. I'm disappointed. When you were voted in, my expectations were high, a female going in to run this city. I was glad for you after 8 years of serving this city. While you have stated the citizens will ultimately decide consolidation, leadership still requires engagement. Even if you have not taken a formal position, attend meeting, town halls, support dialogue, go to LaPorte town halls and meetings. It's not just left up to Troy to handle this. Meet with LaPorte City Mayor, with Troy along. Stand with the residents during the time that this matters. Public engagement should not be selective. You are to listen to both sides at all times while you are a citizen as well. In 8 years, have you ever brought in one grant to help the city? If so, how much? Why not tons more? If not, why? I'm not attacking you personally, but this has got to get out to the people that do not ever come to these meetings or know what goes on. And I hope they're all on the website. This city is at a crossroad. We can choose transparency, professionalism, and accountability, or we can continue down a path of division and misinformation. When you engage on social media about having a movie night in the park, it is disheartening to see, especially in heated conversation, like it is a joke. I know you're a great person, a good person, but the reality is, in a position you show, you need to show pride. Thank you for your time. My daughter will come up. So she has her 5 minutes. This is her first time, and she'll request what she needs on the files.
My name is Morgan Miller, the 1006 Shore Acres Boulevard. I have a recording and I think that you have it to play.
And I sent it to you.
Dear, I look for it. I will wait for you to get it. But maybe couldn't get it off the file.
Oh, let's just see if we can go here.
Yeah, yes.
Everybody can hear it? So the call, because this here, always the police department, it goes down. And so this is just 4 minutes, but I want to clarify.
Now, but I don't want her to get out of my sight. What if somebody is falling? What if she is getting, whatever? I don't want it to be like that. Yeah. Well, I will get the officer and out there right now to kind of take a look, see if we can make contact with her, okay? Yeah. Who's that shady? What's the next street? Shady stuff. The shady by itself. She's going into the woods. I think she's not going into what I think she's hiding from me. I think she's worried about me. I don't want to scare her. But she is on the right-hand side if you're going towards the Maritime School. She's on the right-hand side, hiding in the tree. Now she's coming back across. So she's almost to the Maritime School right now. Yeah, you can call me, or if they don't find anything out or whatever, that's fine. I know we're down to one officer right now, so. We actually, there are no officers on duty right now.
So if I could just finish up, she went into the woods. She went into the woods and throw me out. I don't care. Went into the woods. A pack of coyotes came out, like 8. I can show you pictures. So was she molested in this city or not, right? And here's the deal. We have been beat up over this, like we were attacking the police. So your Save the Union over here, Save the whatever, is gonna throw that in our face, but it's been clarified now who said this, right? And so my issue is, we are not the bad people here. We're trying to make it to where it's civil and it goes smoothly. But if she would have walked down the street, 2 cops came, if she had walked down the street and knocked on somebody's door that's pitch black, because people have been threatened with their kids going in there, what would have happened? What if she was molested? So I get a phone call. My daughter heard, she didn't even know what had happened. And the police officer said, you probably saved her life. We arrested her and we put her in jail. So here's the deal. We're not the bad people here.
Did you still want to talk or you?
No, she didn't. She didn't want to be here.
You want to speak?
Sorry, dude.
Barry?
Yes.
I will. All right. Barry Plant, I'm at 3522 Miramar. Good evening, everybody. The last time I was here was about 2 months ago when I delivered the signatures to consolidate. That was my Christmas present to the residents of the city. Just wanted to pay it forward. So my guess, there's only about 4 council meetings remaining in this building. And I'm not planning on being around for most of them. So I figured I'd take this opportunity and provide a status and offer some opinion about this whole consolidation effort. Well, it's not apparent to me, perhaps city council might have an interest in the most important topic facing the city, because I don't hear much from you guys. I was kind of reluctant to speak about consolidation today. It's been emotional, it's divisive, and it sure has a lot of drama associated with it. It's not a surprise to me, but I'm not a dramatic type of person. So today and probably during the next 6 months, our city will be okay. I mean, we'll survive, except for the high probability of losing the city manager, who the council's fired 4 times or 3 times. But the trends are clear that our budget problems are growing, and without change, we'll soon face some major service cuts. We'll be unable to pay our bills, and in 5 years or less, the pain will be really severe. I'm telling you guys, this is true stuff, man. We have some near-term looming obligations. Just ask Mr. Hill over here about some of the details, but I don't have time in my 5 minutes. And thanks for a handful of some dedicated people, a few of them here in this room that are here, who have a realistic path, which is consolidation of LaPorte. That's realistic. It's the only solution that fixes our structural challenges. There's some major structural challenges here that need to be fixed. Band-Aids will no longer work. And so as a recap and a reminder as to why we doing this now, we have a strong, willing partner in LaPorte. And we got a great mayor and Rick Hilton, and as well as a great city council. I've been there, I've met them all. We're still solvent, we're stable. We're not in any crisis, we're not in a hurricane recovery. Our city manager, Troy, is committed to guiding us with integrity all the way through the end of this consolidation. After that, he's going to ride off into the sunset and go do something else where he gets some respect for what he does. I know he could just have walked away anytime he wanted to. I don't know why he didn't. But attempting a consolidation when we're on a life support is a critical mistake. As the saying goes, you don't come out of hospice care. We're going into hospice care. Y'all think about that for a while. And to our city council, this is to you guys. There is an expectation that our city council members were elected to lead our city in the right direction, including strategic planning. Key duty of the oath that you took when you took this job. And each of you city council members, you know the city's not healthy. You guys do know this. One indicator is there's absolutely no capital improvement project in our budget. None, zero. Nada. That kind of means there's no money for that kind of stuff. Even a simple road repair, not in there. We need to wake up. So our past and current councils have led us here. It's the one-term short budget cycle at a time, just a little bit at a time. We keep going and we govern by hope, not by strategic planning. So being silent on fiscal stability is how organizations and businesses fail. That's how they fail. No one says anything. And that's just where we're headed. Johnny Hill is the only person has had the courage and to put our budget realities in front of everybody, front and center. That's the reason why we voted. That's the reason why I voted him in here. I knew he was going to call a spade a spade. He's going to call it the way it is. And this is what he's done. That's the rest of you guys, the council. And I don't mean to be mean about it. There's just way too much silence. Little passion from you guys. I just am, it's unbelievable. You get waffling opinions, zero action. It's disappointing to me. This is like an inert city council, in my opinion. So I'm not going to sit here and lecture you guys, but our former respected pro tem mayor, Jerome McCown, called me the other day. And he said to me, he says, Barry, this city's on life support with no solution other than consolidation. You need to make sure you get it done. That solidified exactly that I think we're on the right path. The city governance has not been fair to the residents or the city council employees who's worked to keep this city afloat with little reward. So as to the opposition, I know you're probably watching me on TV, most of which you don't attend the council meetings, but you only offer fairy tale solutions from behind a computer screen. So I suggest you take the budget sheet challenge and publicly present it and face reality about how we're going to get through this. I don't think it's possible. And the proposal on the ballot to change the form of government back to the way it was is absolutely ludicrous. I can't even imagine a city council and a mayor running the city. Can't even imagine. It was changed from that form of government to the city manager form of government, which it is today, for a reason. Heaven forbid we go back down that path. That's just ridiculous. That all said, after the consolidation begins in May, life in this hood will be better. All services will improve. You gain amenities, you save a bunch of money through lower expenses. It won't happen instantly. It's going to take 6 months by the time this all smooths out. But once done, you'll have the same neighbors, the same neighborhood, the same sunrises, the same sunsets. Code enforcement will be stricter. Unlike that, leniency will be extended to abandoned houses and pools and properties. You may have to clean your yard up once in a while. But for every person that's against code compliance, I'll find 2 people that are in favor of code compliance. I'll tell you right now, our Shore Acres neighborhood will definitely look better over time. This place is going to really look better. So let us not forget the savings, the taxes, the increases, the insurance, the utilities, and a host of other amenities as we go to the LaPorte. The good news is that I am done tonight. I probably will not be in this building ever again and to speak to you guys about this. But tomorrow at 6:30, I would encourage every one of you people to go to the LaPorte City Hall, go to their town hall meeting, learn about the consolidation. The next one's on March the 3rd at the Maritime campus. Learn about that. And then go on May 2nd and you go vote for what's best for you and your family. As far as I'm concerned, this is the only solution out of where we're at. So I thank you guys for listening. I'm done. All right.
There you go, buddy.
Do you have anything?
Yep.
I'm doing this with permission because I want to make sure Troy didn't fire me after I say here. So anyway, add your book. 145 Shady Lawn. And I'm going to read off my notes because I want to make sure I'm safe to the time frame. Members of the council and fellow neighbors of Shore Acres, I stand before you today because I feel a profound sense of duty to speak on a matter that weighs heavily on my heart. Last month, our community was clouded by words like incompetent, neglectful, mismanaged, and non-transparent. These are serious accusations recklessly cast across the social media landscape. But as someone who has spent the past few months working alongside our city staff, I'm compelled to tell you that nothing could be further from the truth. In my time at City Hall, I've witnessed not mismanagement, but a level of dedication and integrity that deserves our respect, not our suspicion. We are at a crossroads at the end of this month. We're going to have to say bye to Bernie. She is moving on to a little town that's going to be lucky to have her and her husband. Bernie is much more than our city secretary. She is a steady behind our utilities, our permits, and the mountainous details that keep the city moving. More than that, she's a woman of immense compassion. I've seen her step up to help our elderly neighbors with their most personal struggles. She helps them financially with their personal legal battles that they're going through. She never asked for a word of thanks. She is a silent guardian of our community and our pets too. So those dogs and pets get her attention very quickly. Her absence will be deeply felt. In the same tireless spirit is Diane Stokes. Day after day, Diane spends her days hand-holding grown adults through their traffic fines and warrants. It's remarkable to see her patience and their smile throughout that. She manages a municipal court docket of 50 to 75 cases a month, juggling a mountain of legal documents while still finding the time to assist with building permits and utilities. Her resilience is quite frankly remarkable. Thank you. And there's Ray Dodd. Ray has forgotten more of this city's infrastructure than most of you will ever know. He's a walking encyclopedia of every water leak and sewer issue in the last decade. You can't replace this kind of knowledge with the Google search. Finally, I'm going to speak about our city manager, Troy Harrison. When Troy first considered me for a position, I was very clear. I told him I would not tolerate any illegal, immoral, or ungodly behavior. His response was immediate and firm. He told me he expected the same, and if it ever occurred, he wanted it called out. I witnessed Troy perform daily balancing acts to keep Shore Acres operational. It's easy to be a Monday morning quarterback and just ideas after the fact. But I've seen him make decisions based on sound reasoning and always the best interest of this community. While he remains silent and unwavering in the face of the social media attacks, I cannot stay silent. These unfounded disparagements must stop. If there were shenanigans occurring, I assure you I'd be the first one to call it out, as I've done in the past. As we look towards March, we must realize that our city is currently balancing like a Jenga tower on just a few blocks. Those blocks are the people I have named. We serve the city because we love the city. But public service should not require any of us to tolerate irresponsible or inflammatory remarks. I respectfully ask this community and this council to support those who are doing the heavy lifting. Let's move forward with respect for each other. Also want to thank you, Johnny, for your comments and some other folks, because I think they understood what's been happening to us at our level. We're getting inundated with PIA requests that are taking up unmeasurable amount of time, phone calls that we have to handle, ridiculous. People want election results for 2 or 3 years, and we can't tend to the very business that we have here. It's remarkable, and I'm not a good clerk. I can tell you that. I don't do very good as putting all this paperwork together and stuff like that. These ladies run this ship and keep it going. And Troy, I'm much more grateful of this man than I was beforehand because of the amount of work and let me think of it, the number of casseroles that he has to deal with. Okay. And I really admire you, Troy. I don't know how you do it, brother, but you're great. And you've shown me a lot. Thank you all.
administrative report. 6.1 is the city manager report. I'm gonna run through all of these. I'm gonna do 6.1, the city manager report. And then A is the cash.
Dispersion.
Oh.
Cash position.
All right, so it's the first time that we've had like little bullets underneath. So we're gonna do 6.1, the city manager report. 6.2 is the monthly police department report. 6.3 is the monthly public works department report, and 6.4 is the emergency medical service.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank Ed too, because he's been helping out a lot, and it's been really nice having another person in the building that what I said. He's definitely brought something else to the building that helps, and I think Diane and Bernie would both tell you that we all get along very well. Nobody fights. It's a great place to work right now, even with all the stress. I really appreciate these folks as well, and I appreciate the kind words, especially about the others. I don't know, but I got thick skin and broad shoulders. But thank you for kind words. I'll also tell you, I hate social media. If I haven't said that in a while, I hate social media. I used to think attorneys were going to be the downfall of our country, and then I thought it was media. Now I think it's going to be social media. I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's go to the cash position. Under our restricted funds, the restricted debt, $8,208.37. Utility deposit fund, $103,381.49. And then our road repair taxes, that's our tax pool account, is $133,172.49. That's a total of $244,762.00. And our unencumbered funds, our general fund checking is healthy. It's at $871,078.21. Utility checking's $124,923.36. And our savings account that we hold in tax pool is at $518,295.23 for a total of $1,514,296.80. This is a good time of year for us. We just collected the great majority of our taxes that we'll collect for the year on property taxes came in December and January. We're starting to kind of go down, but I was looking today, I think we're over 80%, or is that accurate? So we're getting there, and we'll get there. The police report, council, you've got it. If you have any questions about it, I'll be happy to go over it with you. Did you see anything?
Put that up on the screen, or it's not up there. 66 pages.
You see anything outstanding or anything that is different from what we normally see?
In our little department, we just stay steady. It's almost the same every month. It's the same type of calls. We have the calls that I look out for are family violence, because those can escalate and they can, be not so serious. But if you get out there 2 or 3 times, we start identifying those locations and start looking for some help. But there's nothing on this month that stands out. Lots of accidents out on the freeway. If everybody's through with that, we'll go to racial profiling report. Racial profiling report has to be given each police chief before March 1st of the year. So we're doing ours in February to get it over with. Plus, it's the last meeting that we have, first and last. I'm not going to go over the whole thing with you, but I'll share with you. I've done this for 14 to almost 20 years here in other agencies. And this tells us exactly what goes on in the department. It tells us who we're stopping. It tells us why we're stopping them. It tells them the nationality, whether the nationality was known prior to the stop, whether it was male or female, whether the vehicle was searched, whether the person was searched, where the contraband was found, and then it breaks it all up. You can tell exactly how many white females were stopped, how many were searched compared to, there's a comparative report at the back that'll tell you how it compares. And we're right on the mark with the people that we serve. There's nothing here that looks like to me that it's out of whack. Interestingly enough, it just, I know you guys can't see it, but out of our stops, there was a total of 596 traffic stops. 122 were on the city street, 185 on the county road, 288 on the state highway, and 1 on private property. And out of the race, 305 white, 193 Latino, 78 black, 11 Asian Island Pacific Islander, and 9 either Alaskan or American Indians. And as far as gender goes, 160 of those stops were female, 436 were male. So unless you have a question about those. We're going straight to the public works report. You've got the
That's one question, please.
up to the mayor.
One question.
Yes.
Do we still have 24-hour police patrolling Shore Acres?
We do. We are shorthanded in the evenings, LaPorte and Precinct 8. I've talked to Constable Sandlin. I had a meeting last week with the LaPorte city manager and the LaPorte, all 3 police chiefs. And at nighttime, in the after 7 p.m., we're going to have assistance from LaPorte. We're down to I'd say 2.5 officers, and one is probably maybe this week resigning, and one has vacation he's burning already that he was already approved for. So we've got to have some assistance from them.
Shore Acres Police.
Yes, it'll be supplemental. Yes, sir. And they are going to they have set up a geofence so they can see that it's being done. They have sent out an email to their supervisors and their dispatch to lay out exactly what the city manager and I discussed, which was random patrols, traffic stops can be made. And of course, if they get a call that they can't handle the calls, it's something that needs charges filed. They can reach out to Precinct 8, who has jurisdiction in the city. And if it's something that needs follow-up, then I'll take the follow-up the next day. I think we have a pretty good, for what we're working with, we're doing pretty good. It's impossible to hire anybody right now. Nobody wants to come.
We'll volunteer for $5 an hour.
So what is your full-time staff typically a year ago? Maybe.
A year ago?
Yeah.
7.
And you're down 2.5? 3?
Yeah, 3. I'm a half because my time is split.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
But and just so everybody will know, in most cities, Shore Acres is not most cities, and I think we're all proud for that. But in most cities, crime occurs at night. In Shore Acres, that's just not the case. The great number of calls that we get occur during the daytime hours. So it didn't make sense to put people on nights. It made more sense to pull people to days and let night shift be the time that's covered. And I got to be honest with you, I hate I'm standing up here talking about this because I did not want this to become a discussion. Because Shore Acres has been called the safest city in Harris County time and time again by the Houston Chronicle, by some other when they look at our stats. And when they've tried to give me credit for that, I turn it down, because if I take credit for that, when the crime goes up, guess what? I have to take credit for that crime rise too. But I've always thought that my job, and I've said this a dozen times in this building, my job is to keep our city out of the news. Some chiefs and city managers like to get their cities in the news. My job is to keep this is the best kept secret in Harris County. We want to keep it that way.
Thank you.
You bet. I don't have very good news on the IUO report. This doggone lift station over there at Lift Station 2. So you've got an agenda item tonight for over $13,000 to approve a new pump that I've already bought because it was an emergency. I'm gonna try to explain it. So we had 2 pumps in the ground, 2 pumps in the well. 1 pump burned up. We thought it was under warranty, so they pulled it out. While they're checking to see if it's under warranty, we had to put another new pump in because we didn't have one. We only had one in there. So That new pump that you're approving tonight has already burned up. It lasted 3 weeks. Debris got in it and it burned up. We buy the best pumps we can buy that we can afford. They're called grinder pumps and they'll chew almost anything up. But they can't handle electrical surges like we had one day last week. And I've got video, I think I showed it to some people. And by the way, I had a great visit with Tammy and Nathan both last week in my office. I'm appreciative of their time for coming by and getting things in the open. That's always helpful. But with surges like that, we do not have surge protectors on our lift stations. Didn't even know there was a thing. There is a such thing. They're expensive, but we're going to be buying them so that that doesn't happen again. So with that pump being out of service, I didn't borrow one. I rented one for a month. It was cheaper to rent one until I could talk to you guys and try to figure things out. Well, today the one we're borrowing burned up.
Are you running 3-phase?
Yes.
You got
Well, anyway, today it was a piece of PVC pipe that got lodged in there just right. And it just, I mean, the things that we find in our sewer system, if I didn't know better, and I don't think this, but if I didn't know better, I think people are popping the lids off these manholes and throwing stuff in there. Because that's the kind of stuff we find in our sewer system. We did a smoke test in 2017, I think it was, paid over $60,000 and had Cobb Finley come out and do a professional smoke test. We identified all the major places that we were getting infiltration in. And in our $4.5 million we borrowed, once we identified those were the ones we concentrated on. But we didn't get them all. We've still got some things, but like right now, we've had to turn lift station 3 off because we don't want it pushing and overflowing too. They're down there right now working on it. But I try to get an answer. I've called a port. I mean, nobody knows what to do except at some point completely rebuild these wet wells.
So that pump was not under warranty?
No, not with an electrical surge.
Okay.
I am going to try to get it covered under insurance, but our deductible is so high, we're not going to realize the big savings.
Now, new pump's covered with a 5-year warranty, is that right?
3 to 5, depends on what we buy. And what you're going to vote on tonight to pay for the one that's already burned up, we had a choice between rebuilding one for about $9,500 or $10,000 to rebuild it, or $13,000 for a new one with the 3-year warranty, I think it was. So the no-brainer is to buy the warranty. But surges like this, the surge protectors we're going to purchase are $2,000 a piece, and they've got a timer, not a timer, they've got a counter on them. So every time a surge hits, it'll count, and when it gets to 100, it'll tell you need to replace the surge protector. So some of y'all may be more familiar with those than I am, but I think unless council does like this tonight, I'm buying those and putting in the lift stations to try to. So in the 8 years I've been here, that's only the second pump we've ever lost to a surge. It's not a real big problem, but if it's predictable, it is preventable. So it sounds like a pretty good investment to me. Outside of that, we're just repairing some leaks. We did have an issue back behind us over here. I knew this was going to happen sooner or later. There's nothing but bamboo over here, cane pole, and we had a main line break and all that cane pole, and you can't do anything with it. You can't mow it. You can't cut it. I mean, you got to go in and have people go in and manually take it out. We had to hire a lawn care group to come in. So back here we still have an alley where fences come up, and then people have 5 feet on this side, 5 feet on this side. So we have a 10-foot alley, and that's where the main lines are supposed to be. They do like this through the years for some reason, but they can't even work on it with all that bamboo back there. So we had to come in and have a bunch of bamboo cut out before we could even touch the main line. So those kind of
thing, Mayor, the surge that's on Shore Acres, those happen constantly. Like no clock is set in my house, and I don't care because you set it and it comes back. But they happen all the time. Can CenterPoint be responsible for some of that?
I'm told no, but I'm working on it. And when you shared that with me the other day, I made a phone call Friday, and they're not, from what I understand, because they're a public utility, they're not going to be held responsible for it. But we're gonna fix what we can fix and then we'll.
I see.
Okay, any questions over you all? By the way, just it's not a discussion item really, but Bertie and I have been working really, really hard the last week to identify some things we can do to lessen the heartache of her leaving. She does so much, and it's catching on, but yeah. David Sutton's company, they're going to take over for us because May's coming so fast. We don't know what's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball. But in the foreseeable future, we're going to turn a lot of our stuff over to David. It'd be a lot cheaper than hiring somebody to try to take Bernie's place right now. Plus, I mean, if we're not going to be able to find a city secretary right now, again, nobody's going to come here. We had a hard enough time when we hired Ed and we was trying to find somebody. We didn't have anybody qualified, like already had city secretary experience. So David's company, for way less money than it would cost to hire somebody, is going to take over a lot of what Bernie does. And then when May 4th gets here on a Monday night, then we'll see what had happened 2 days before, and then we'll start having them. But that's a short-term fix. That's cheap. It's reliable, and we'll see how it works.
So they take over like water billing and stuff, is that?
Yeah, billing collection. Bernie and I had how long that meeting lasted today? It lasted an hour longer than I wanted it to last, but we've asked the questions, and I think it's the best thing given what Ed's not ready to take it over. He's just, I think it would drive him crazy.
What was David Sutton's company? Absolutely. Should have went that way a long time ago.
We met with David last week for quite a while. I think Diane and Ed both sat in on that meeting, and David provides excellent customer service. He has a lot of pride in his company and makes sure that things get done right, and takes good care of our stuff. He was a public works manager here for many, many years. So I don't anticipate any problems. The money's already there. We'll just use the money that was allotted for the position and not fill that for now. It's such a short period of time.
Nothing will change with the residents. We can still drop off here, still pay a line.
They can still, they can still pay in the box out here or drop off.
Or do we need to do something official to transfer that money from
Like,
personnel to outside
we'll
contracts?
need to make an amendment maybe next month. I don't know enough yet. We just talked with AVR today to talk about the total cost of transfer and everything over. So yeah, probably next month I'll bring you a budget amendment and we'll do that. I do not have a Laporte EMS report. They haven't sent it yet. I'm sorry about that. I'll try to get one. If I get it, I'll either include it next month or the last thing I'll say before I'm done is it's not on here, so obviously not discussion. But I know Mr. Plant brought it up, but there is a agenda. I guess it's posted in this window here for Friday. We're going to have to call a special meeting Friday to consider placing a ballot measure in May to abandon the city manager form of government, which means we will get away from my position. It'll be returned to the mayor to have the I hate to say the power, but it really is the power of hiring and firing and termination and paying bills and all those things that I currently do. That will be a special call meeting. So I know it's the day before Valentine's. I know it's on a Friday. It just worked out. That's the only thing we could do. But because it's a special call meeting, to have a quorum, we will need 4 of you here. And I don't know how that's going to work, but we will have that meeting on Friday. And I wanted the residents to know that because I haven't put anything out. I just worked on that all day today.
Like at the regular time?
Yes, ma'am. 6 o'clock.
I'll get Ron's login.
I'll end with I hate social media.
I'm not on it anymore, just only on my page.
Thank God.
Thank you.
Thank thank you, Troy, for putting up with everything, really. At first, I thought it was a good idea to bring you back, but I think it was the best option.
A horrible idea, I gotta tell you. If it ever happened.
On that note, we're gonna jump to 7.0 business, 7.1 approval of minutes.
Motion to discuss minutes from January 12th meeting.
Second that,
Any comments?
good with them. Yeah.
All those in favor?
Motion to
Oh,
approve.
motion to approve.
Second.
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Measure passes unanimously. All right, 7.2 is the approval of expenditure and authorization of payment. This is for invoice number 8032 in the amount of $13,794. The innovative utility operations for replacement of lift station pump number 2. Be it known that the Short Acre City Council was made aware of the pump failure at the regular council meeting January 12, 2026 by a city manager for Harrison.
We need to discuss this or we just,
You just need to vote on it.
motion to approve the expenditures of authorization of payment for invoice number 8032 for the innovative pump utilities.
A second.
second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The measure passes unanimously.
I'll just go on record out there saying, I don't see any problem with the surge protectors and whatever you need to do to help prevent those from burning up going forward.
Yes, agree.
2,000 is a lot better than 13 for these pumps.
Pretty cheap insurance.
And on those, we can do a budget amendment on the next council meeting. All right, 7.3 is the SRA peer lease. This is the discussion with possible action to authorize the city manager to sign a 10-year lease with the SRA Peer Association for leasing the pier parking lot.
Make the motion to discuss.
I second the motion. Anybody, Roy, is there any, right now, this, it expires 2028 right now. And that was because the one with the GLO expires before that.
General Land Office, yes.
Is there a reason why we're going to 10 years?
Yeah, so I kind of brought this forward. My thoughts on that were, assuming that our consolidation goes through with the port, which I feel strongly that it will. It's to the interest of the community, I think, to have that longer lease on the parking lot so that the port could not decide to not renew that lease and thereby basically get rid of the pier. So I think that's, if we pass this now, then that's a contract they would need to honor.
I don't know. Can they, even though we've got a lease on it, I think they can terminate the lease just like we.
I think
They could do it today.
it would have to be for cause, I think. I'm not sure they could do it for no reason.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like
looking at.
if the Pier Association did not maintain the pier in a usable condition, then they could cancel the lease. And Short Acres could do that too.
I think if you charge LaPorte people $250 as opposed to $125, Short Acres people, I thought LaPorte would be very happy about it. Supposed to the community. We're penalizing LaPorte people if we become consolidated. It's a private pier, but I don't think LaPorte were very happy that citizens are getting charged twice as much as Short Acres.
It's a neighborhood pier. It's a neighborhood pier like the other places down the road. I'm just saying.
They
Colony,
they-
you can even
if they- if they-
afterwards Bay Colony.
Right.
If they do that, they could just turn around and put a big fence across the front of that pier.
Can I say something on that? I drove the city with the mayor Elton, and we did stop and talk about that pier and that agreement. And he said there's no reason why that pier can't remain a neighborhood pier.
Yes.
It's 501c7. I wrote the agreement with Paul several years ago for the 2028 expiration. He had no problem with leaving it a neighborhood pier. There's a lot of neighborhood types of piers. They're only for particular neighborhoods. Some are HOAs. This is a 501c7. It's very similar, except it's instead of being privately owned, it's government owned property. I'd probably just do it. I mean, if the concern is that they could cancel whether it's in 2028 or in 2038.
But it was suggested.
So I don't see that there's an issue one way or the other. Administratively, it might be okay, but I don't think it matters a whole lot. I think the pier is going to remain a neighborhood pier, and it's going to, Shore Acres people are going to pay 125, and anybody not Shore Acres is going to pay 250, and that's the way it's going to roll. But anything can happen.
And it was suggested by the Laporte people the same way, get everything put in place the way you want it, and they'll adopt it that way. So I think it's really the best interest of the 10 years to go forward. We do good, then we negotiate another 10
Yeah, the
years.
Laporte people aren't bad people.
No, they're not.
And they're not. And so I don't think one way or the other, I mean, it's probably saved our bacon to have that. So I don't think it matters one way or the other.
My opinion, didn't matter when.
Well, I don't think that.
Do we want to table this till for later, or do we want to?
I think we need to make it an agenda item for next council.
We'll get it, so I can understand, so we can prepare it. Or we're asking for 10 years from the 20s. Where do we want it expiring? Do we want it 10 years from this month?
I'm not sure what we can legally do if we have to wait until that one expires. I would say we could just cancel the one that we have and replace it with a 10-year, starting from that date.
Okay.
I'm starting from now.
Okay.
That would be mine too.
Okay, so 120 months, so we'll have a couple of places to change that in here. While we're working on it, is there anything else in here that anybody, because this is kind of a one-shot thing. This will be March before we do it. We don't.
I'll make one suggestion. I mean, if you're gonna want to do that, the optics might be a little bit weird on this whole thing. Why don't you try to go after the GLO and see if they can do that for 10 years as well? Do both at the same time. And that way, this doesn't appear that you're doing this as a little manipulative type of thing against the board. I would think that you might want to consider that as an avenue of trying to reduce the optics of us, you trying to do a little end run. That's my opinion.
Well, it's SRA that has with the.
GLO, I understand.
We don't. Are you going to talk to them?
Well, there's the guy on the board. I no longer am not a.
Yeah, I'll talk.
I gave that up to this stuff.
Does that go the same for Miramar Park too? That was brought up.
No.
It's like
No,
that.
nothing to do with it.
Okay. No, I'm just talking the grass front.
Nothing to do with it.
Legally separate.
I mean, is that protected?
Miramar Park is a park under the codes, correct?
No, there's no, it's not been designated. I did
I
not
think
see the
that's
designation.
a big ordeal. That was the parks and the Miramar.
There was a,
When you talk about Miramar Park,
It's
I
called
looked it up
It's not
on
official.
hcad.org to see who owns strip of property. I can't find it. On the HCAD website, it doesn't say who owns it. It's just a white space, whereas everything else is numbered. So
I think there was an earlier action to make sure that all the parks in the city of Shore Acres are designated under parks and therefore are protected under state law and home rule and general law, and so that they can't be repurposed for something other than a park. And so I thought that was an action earlier.
We gotta get back to this. That's not even.
And going back to the pier. So we're just gonna table this and then
table this.
vote on it next meeting.
That's correct.
Okay.
I will work on it or or probably Ed will work on it. And we'll get something to you so you can look at it. So maybe you can make sure it's exactly what you want. So we can take care of it in March and not have to push it any further. It's not something we do very often. So I want to make sure we get it done like you guys want it.
Connie, looking at that GLO, it may have more property up in that area where that park, where we're talking about park.
Okay,
So you might look at that when you're talking to them. They may own more of that than we think they do.
okay. I'll look into that.
Yellow is just the water.
Yeah.
Wawa. Wawa.
We'll give you guys time to research by next meeting. We're gonna move to 7.4, the general retention agreement. This is discussion of general retention agreement for legal services as requested or assigned by the city with authorization for Mayor Pro Tem Ramos to execute.
Motion to discuss general retention agreement.
Second.
Okay, this is because we need, Troy, we need to go ahead and the current one that we have down council is
So
in addition to the council.
yes, so our city attorney, Chris Gregg, I've reached out to Chris Gregg and council knows that we were served a demand letter by Walter Gant, by Mr. Gant, some months ago. After that, I did receive a letter from an attorney that's representing Mr. Gant. I anticipate that moving forward soon. Chris Gregg, he has suggested that we contract with the law firm called Lewis and Brisboe that we've used before, not since I've been here. We haven't had any litigation since I've been here, but he suggested that these are the people we need to look at securing for that. We've used them in the past. So this is nothing more than an agreement so that when and if I get any paperwork that dictates that we need to have legal representation, we already have this. It doesn't cost us anything to secure the agreement. This is just so we don't have to wait and we can get started on it as quickly as possible.
Make a motion, we approve general retention agreement. That's this for legal services requested and signed by the city authorization for Mayor Pro Tem to execute.
Second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. 7.5 is the sale of city property ordinance 2026-02-01. Sorry. Approve the resale of tax foreclosure property described as west 35 feet of lot 8 and east 30 feet of lot 9 and block 22 of Short Acres, a subdivision in Harris County, Texas, more particularly described to the map or plat thereof, recorded in volume 7, page 10 of the map records of Harris County, Texas, account number 085-061-033-0008. East 65 feet of lot 8 and block 33 of Short Acres, a subdivision in Harris County, Texas, more particularly described according to the map or plat thereof, recorded in in volume 7, page 10 of the maps record of Harris County, account number 058-061-033-0014.
A motion to discuss sale of city property or 602-01.
Second.
Do we have any discussion on it? Troy, you want to add anything to this? We own this property outright for tax purposes, right?
Yeah, so this property was foreclosed on many, many years ago and was attempted to be sold at auction. That auction was not successful, so it did not sell. So it's been sitting there. And we've been paying to mow it for years and years and years. I tried to sell it a couple of times and nothing worked out. But now we have a decent offer, a good offer on it. The offer is $31,962.07. for 2 lots. It's in the 600 block of Meadowlawn. So because it's already gone for auction once and nobody bid, it makes this sale a lot easier. We do not have to go back to auction. This company, this law firm is the same law firm that Laporte uses. In fact, Corby called me a few weeks ago, their city manager, and asked me if we used them too. And I said, man, that rings a bell because we haven't done this. But anyway, I met with them for a couple of hours one afternoon. They explained all this to me. And you've got a breakdown in there. The city's not going to realize a lot of money off this sale. The city's only going to realize $6,180.58. LaPorte ISD is going to get over 10,000, and Harris County is going to get almost 12,000. But the owner is in here. It's Mr. or the purchaser is in here. It's Andy
Rolfe.
Andy Rolfe. He already owns property here. He's a realtor, local realtor. And he's got a developer that wants to buy both lots and build. So we both, well, we all know that having houses on those lots is better than grass and us having to mow them every month. So I think it's time we sold it.
For anybody that didn't know about this lot, it's a 516 Meadowlawn, which is right next door to Vicky Montgomery's house. Getting redone and vacant a lot since the hurricane wiped it out. She tore it down. People just use it for a parking lot right now.
Yeah.
Like that for years.
Any further discussion? Need to have.
They can build on and we can get some tax revenue.
Amen.
Motion to approve sale of city property ordinance 2026-02-01.
Second motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We need to.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a recorded vote. Mayor Pro Tem Ramos, aye. Paul Grayson,
Aye.
Alderman Bell,
Aye.
Alderman Hill,
Aye.
Alderman Mitchell.
Aye.
it passes unanimous. 7.6, second regular meeting. Do we have a need?
Yes, Troy, you said we're gonna have another meeting.
It's a special meeting call.
No, I think we just, we do not need another meeting this month for anything I've got.
Friday is just a special.
It's a special meeting.
2.0 is adjournment,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
and as of 7:13 PM, we are adjourned.